Hi, my name is Ron Matheson. Welcome to SeniorFlicks. This is another episode of SeniorFlicks for our seniors here at Shepherd Village. And my guest today is Michelle. And Michelle has been working with us how long here at the village?
Just over 2 years.
And what is your role here?
So I'm the sales and marketing manager.
Right?
Yeah.
And what do you actually do? What do you sell?
Okay, so I sell the gardens, which is the life leases.
Okay.
So it's a purchase.
Right.
Also the manor, which are the
Right.
apartments at Shepherd Village.
Okay.
And then the terrace, which is the retirement home.
Okay. So around Shepherd Village, we often refer to the manor, the gardens, the lodge, and the terrace.
Right.
Now, when we're talking to people and I say, oh, well, you're in the manor, and or someone from outside talks about Shepherd Village, they often refer to Shepherd Village as Shepherd Lodge. Now, that's the old name of
Right.
Shepherd Village, and why do we call it Shepherd Village now?
Because we're not just the lodge, which the lodge was the long-term care,
Right.
which was built in 1961.
Right.
Under the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. So from then on, we actually built the manor.
So we still have the
gardens.
Lodge in place.
We still have the lodge in place, yes.
And with 252 beds, is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
For the lodge, yeah.
So if someone's looking to move into the lodge, is that something that you market? And I think I know the answer to it, but how do they get into the lodge?
So the lodge is it's basically done through the government. So it's like the government run.
Right.
Whereas the other three buildings are not.
And so the manor, when people refer to the manor, they're referring to what?
The apartments.
Okay.
So that's the independent living.
Okay.
So that's where they differ from the terrace, which is the retirement home.
Okay.
So to live in the gardens and the manor, you would have to be fully independent.
Okay.
65 plus.
Right.
But fully independent.
So I would qualify.
I guess so.
I actually
if you want to buy one of the units, that's fine.
Right. And how many apartments suites do we actually have in the manor?
So the manor is 263.
Okay.
And the gardens are 115.
Okay. In terms of your ability to live there, you need to be able to live independently, which means what?
You have to be able to shower yourself, dress yourself, walk independently. You've got to be able to cook your own meals.
Right.
Because no meals or anything are included.
So apart from the cooking, I should be fairly fine. But if let's say I were to move into the manor or the gardens and I don't want to cook, what's my option here at Shepherd Village?
So we have a cafe. We have the cafeteria, which is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
They do have specials for lunch, specials for dinner.
Right.
And then if you do want to cook yourself, there are facilities in the unit, which is a full stove, a full kitchen. So you can go across to the Asian Co-op Plaza. There's a No Frills right there. There's a Walmart right there. So you can purchase your own food to cook.
Okay.
It depends what you want to do, especially in winter time as well.
Yes, yeah.
If you don't want to cook and you don't want to go out and do your groceries, you can always use the cafe in the village.
Okay. That sounds excellent. Now, if in terms of what other amenities would be available to the gardens and the manor, because I think of Shepherd Village. We call it a village because there's about how many residents here?
What did you around 800-ish?
Yeah. Okay.
That's in the whole of all the 4 buildings.
Right.
So there are a lot of residents.
Right.
Plus 400 plus staff.
Yes.
So it is really a village. And so apart from having the cafe, we also have a pharmacy.
Right.
We have the chapel. So for people that can't get out in wintertime, especially if there's a snowstorm, they can use the chapel. They can use the cafe, the pharmacy. We have a pool and a gym, which is an amazing addition too for people that are still active and looking for things to do. We have, what else do we? Oh, hair salon and spa, so you can get your hair and nails done. So again, you don't have to go outside the village. Yeah, so we are, when they say Shepherd Village, it really is a village, that's for sure.
I actually do get my hair done there, so anybody watching can actually do an evaluation. I think it looks okay, but
it looks great.
The church, we actually have a full functioning church, and I can speak to that a little bit because my role here, overseeing the spiritual life programming. Each of the buildings themselves have programs, spiritual life programs that are happening in those buildings. But on a Sunday morning and throughout the week, we have activities that are happening in our church on campus here. So it's the church in the village is the title of it, and it was built to sort of influence and be that center, that spiritual life center for the village here, the community. And I was sharing with you earlier today, I had lived actually in a village of about 800 people as a pastor, and this is a little bit larger than that itself. At our church, I believe we have about 160 to 170 people, depending on winter months and summer and so on, that attend on a weekly basis. So we have 2 full-time pastors. Actually, it's 3 full-time right now, and 2 part-time and a full-time chaplain, 2 chaplains as well. So we have quite a robust spiritual life program that's happening here. But we also have other activities that are going on in the community hall.
But we also do outdoor events. We just had a high tea, which was great. We did the high tea, and I know we do things for what was Remembrance Day that just what we just had. So I know there's a lot of different activities that we do have, and we do invite outside people to come into the village, and that kind of shows what we can do for everyone else outside too.
So we just recently had the Ontario Long-Term Care Association come by with some of the local politicians and so on, and gave them a tour. When we ended up going into the terrace, there was some activities going on there with a singer, and they actually were dancing. Talk to us a little bit about the terrace. What is the terrace? How is it different than the gardens and the manor?
Right, so the terrace is independent and assisted living. So you don't have to be, or you don't have to need everything to live in the terrace. Some people just don't want to cook and clean anymore. Some people want, they want people to be surrounded by people because they're isolated at home. I come across that a lot, right? If someone comes in and it's like say the spouse has passed away and they're at home by themselves now. They want interaction with other people. So it's assisted living as well as independent. So that means that if someone is at home and they can no longer care for themselves, if they need showers or if it's more extreme, like they might need toileting or they might need something else. We provide services. We do provide like an a la carte service, and it's basically for their needs, whatever their needs are at that time. Like I said, it might not be exactly something extreme, but some people just come for that extra, that little bit extra interaction and assistance.
And if you don't want to go out shopping, it's all there for you. You don't want to do your laundry.
All your meals are included, your laundry, your housekeeping.
So how would someone go about getting into our retirement home then?
So
what would they do?
They just, so usually they'll call me, and right now we're actually full, which is amazing. So we do have a wait list. So they just maybe go on the wait list if we don't have anything available, but Yeah, they'll just come and see me. I sit down with the family members, with the residents, show them, go around, have a tour. Sometimes people want to come in and have a meal and sample our food. And
okay.
Yeah.
You allow that?
I do, of course.
So
it's the best way to get the full experience, right?
And
even on program days where we might have live entertainment, we'll have a meal, then come in for live entertainment.
So when you talk about live entertainment, so there's live entertainers who are...
There's lots of programs, activities. On a Friday afternoon, we have live entertainment. Every day at 10 o'clock, we have group exercise.
Okay.
We do like... we also do hymn singing, Bible studies.
Right.
We have pet visits.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to do. There's a full program every day for residents to come in and enjoy and just sit down. And again, it's like socialization for them more than anything too.
What are a couple of things that they really love the most? Do you know?
Live, they love singing, program like the live live entertainment and things like that. Even crafts and they'll sit and do crafts or play Scrabble or bingo. So bingo's huge. Bingo's huge.
Yes.
We have a pool table. We have shuffleboard.
Right.
There's all sorts of stuff that they can sit and do. A big screen TV. They can sit and watch TV and tea and coffee available, so they can sit and have tea and coffee with family members.
So you mentioned we're full right now. If someone is interested, should they say, well, I'm not really looking at Shepherd Village, they're full?
No. So I do put them on a wait list. If it's a case where they really need to get in right away, like most of the assisted living, they do come from hospitals too if they've had a fall.
Okay.
So I have a lot of interaction with hospitals. So if someone calls me and they do need to get in right away, then I try my best. If I can maybe move a few rooms around if someone's not wanting to move in right away.
Okay.
And then someone else is, I can maybe shuffle. I've actually done that recently. I actually offered a person that was in more need of a room than someone who's kind of waiting.
And not ready yet?
Not ready, but they're getting discharged from hospital. So they don't need the room until the mid-December, but someone's getting admitted, or should I say discharged earlier.
Right.
So maybe we could work it out that way if it's an emergency situation.
So there is some flexibility.
I try.
Yeah.
I try. And then if in the worst case, they would have to go on a wait list.
Yes, okay.
So the wait lists for independent living especially, mostly, because assisted living is kind of more flexible.
So, and this is just off the top of my head here, over the last couple of years, how many people do you think, or how many suites have you actually filled in the terrace?
Lots. So
so there has been turnover, right?
Oh, 40 plus.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay.
The year before that, I just started, but we had 30 move-ins in 3 months.
Right.
So
so somebody is thinking about it. Yeah, there's a large turnover.
Yeah.
Would that be somewhat similar in the apartments and or the life lease?
So this is where Shepherd Village actually is amazing for different transitions.
Right.
So for example, we have people moving from the gardens into the terrace and the manor into the terrace.
Okay.
So if they can no longer live in the manor anymore or the gardens because they do need more help, they don't need to move out. They don't have to leave the friends and people that they've known for years behind. They can just literally move into the terrace. And because it's internally, I will accommodate our internal residents first. Because it is their home. They've built up a friendship and a relationship with staff, with family members, or who now they call family members because they've been with them for so long.
Right.
So we've had a lot of cases
cool.
where we've had lots of move-ins from both the buildings over to the terrace.
Yes.
And then we're fortunate enough to have a long-term care as well.
Right.
So
and an adult day program.
And an adult day program. So a lot of our residents have also moved into the lodge.
Okay.
So it's amazing for that, and that's why a lot of our family members say what they do about Shepherd Village, because it is literally a place that they can age in place, right?
Right.
So it's, yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Michelle, for sharing with us. We're going to need to wrap it up today, but really appreciate you what you are doing here at the Village.
Thank
and
you.
I know there's a lot of really positive response from those who've worked with you and trying to find their way, navigating a system that is not always easy to understand. If somebody is living in the community at large and what's available to us, where is it available, and what's best fits my needs at this time. And I know that you help them address that. And once they're here, they're not on their own.
No, they're not.
And you're picking up and helping them and guiding them until they get used to Shepherd Village as a village.
And that's what means a lot to me as well, working for Shepherd Village, because I really do love my job and helping people out. And I go up at night and I can be proud of what I do. So I'm happy.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us at SeniorFlicks as well. Feel free to give Michelle a call and link with her. We will have some pictures that you can look at as well and give you an idea of the gardens around the village as well. Thank you.